When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Skims or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/income.
Hey, it's John from GenXGrownUp, and we want your help to make this show even better. Go to GenXGrownUp.com/pod survey for a quick listener questionnaire. It only takes a few minutes and can make a huge impact on the show by telling us a bit about yourself, your listening habits, and your preferences. To show our appreciation for your time, we're giving away 2 $50 gift cards to lucky participants every single month during this campaign. So fire up that browser and head over to GenXGrownUp.com/pod survey right now to make your voice heard and for a chance to win.
Hi, I'm Stu Baca, and I'm a Gen X grown-up, and I support Gen X GrownUp on Patreon, and you should too at patreon.com/GenXGrownUp.
No life, no fun. Don't you know that you're a grown-up?
Gen X Grown Up is a YouTube channel, website, and audio podcast you're listening to right now. All made for and by people who love exploring media, games, tech, and toys of yesterday and today through the eyes of Gen Xers who refuse to grow up.
Your dinner cannot just be French fries. Basically, life sucks as a grown-up.
Welcome back, Gen X Grown Up podcast listener, to this episode 210 of the Gen X Grown Up podcast. I am John. Joining me as always, of course, my buddy Mo. Hey, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. You know, it would not be a show without George. Hey, George.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
In this episode, we return to a favorite series to see if an improbable underdog story can become a Premier League reality, test drive a free desktop application to reduce clutter and increase your productivity, and play a game that puts you in the captain's chair for an adventure in the final frontier. Gonna have those topics and many more coming up in this episode. But first, it is time for some fourth listener email. I'm here, I listen. George is here, he listens sometimes. Mo is here, his wife listens. That counts as 3. If anyone else listens, you are our fourth listener. And fourth listener for this episode is Chris, who dropped us a line. And the subject line, get ready for this, guys, 2 complaints and a question.
So the complaints are about me and the question is about one of you two, I guess.
Well, it's 2 complaints.
There's
That's
2
what I
complaints.
meant.
There's plenty to go around.
About George.
They're both you? We'll see. Let's see what Chris has to say. Hey, guys. Love what you're doing and love the podcast. Listening to you on my 2.5-hour drive to work has been keeping me awake. So in some form or fashion, you've kept me alive. Ooh, all right. Is that a complaint? I hope that's not the complaint. So he goes on to say, I've been listening to a lot of your old podcasts, and I want to start out with the bad.
Okay.
Mo, your take on the last season of Stranger Things, I feel, was off. Now, I edited something here to avoid spoilers, but he says, I understand you didn't like the whole wormhole explanation for the Upside Down, but it does make more sense and answered a huge question I had about where the creatures came from. After the reveal that blank and blank created the Upside Down, it didn't make sense that there was other life there. So I have to respectfully disagree.
I think you should be okay with things not always being explained, but okay.
Okay. All right. So there you go. It's a respectful disagreement, so it's not so bad. Not so bad.
That's like, different opinions, even wrong ones.
Second, in your rewind on phones, when talking about phone booths, not one of you guys said it's bigger on the inside. I'm disappointed in you all.
Okay, that's on me. That's on me.
Yeah,
I should have.
You're the resident Whovian, so
I should have done that.
Yeah. Okay, sorry about that one, Chris. Okay, and now for my question. Neither of those were about you, George.
Yeah,
you
they're both
set it
on
up
me.
like they were going to be. They're basically.
I was sort of in the last one, but you're right. Yeah.
Right, but we collectively blame Mo. Yeah,
playing the
it's Mo's
odds.
fault.
I mean, It makes sense.
Says, I just finished listening to the one you did on Amazing Stories. I love anthology shows and actively seek them out. When George mentioned he wishes there were a more adult and gory version of them, might not have been his words exactly, but it's what he said. Only one anthology came to mind. Have you ever heard of or watched the show Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix?
Have we talked about that multiple times here?
He's still catching up on our podcast, apparently.
He's still catching up. It's been a while.
Well, how much is he catching up, though? He just talked about the Stranger Things season 5.
No, maybe he's cherry picking. Not everybody goes back to the very beginning and goes every single episode. So I'm going to give him credit for that one. But yes, we have talked about it several times, Chris. So you have that to look forward to when you find those old episodes. We probably talk about it every time there's a new season, maybe.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think so.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. But he calls it out and says, hey, it has a bunch of episodes. And it has that bloody gore you're probably looking for. I would honestly be shocked if this is something you haven't watched already, which indeed it is. Indeed it is.
Oh, yeah. Multiple times.
You nailed it, Chris. Chris, thank you for writing in. We're sorry about your complaints. Hey, chalk it up to boys going to be boys. Different opinions. That's cool. And yes, Love, Death, and Robots. We love it. Fourth listener, if you would like your email featured here on the show, just like we did with Chris's, it is so easy. Just hit us up at podcast@GenXGrownUp.com. Read every single email we get, and most of them, like Chris's, will eventually make the show. All right. With that good business in the rearview mirror, it's time to jump into the body of episode 210 right after this very quick break.
Are your ad campaigns lighting up the dashboard, but not the pipeline? That's bullspend, and marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
My boss asked for results, so I opened my dashboard for the only positive-sounding metric I had: impressions.
Cut the bull spend. See revenue, not just reach. LinkedIn delivers the highest return on ad spend of major ad networks. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
All new drinks are now at McDonald's, with refreshers like the Strawberry Watermelon Refresher and the Mango Pineapple Refresher with popping boba, to crafted sodas like the Sprite Berry Blast with berry flavors and cold foam. Who knew ice-cold drinks could be so fire? Try them all now at McDonald's.
Refreshers contain caffeine. Copyright 2026, The Coca-Cola Company. Sprite is a registered trademark of The Coca-Cola Company.
You're listening to Gen X Grown Up. But if you have a friend who's not yet listening, why not? Tell them about us. They'll thank you later.
It certainly is a big bun.
It's a very big bun.
Big, fluffy bun.
It's a very big, fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef?
At Wendy's, we serve a hamburger we modestly call a single. And Wendy's single has more beef than the Whopper or Big Mac. At Wendy's, you get more beef and less bun.
Hey, where's the beef? I don't think there's anybody back there.
You want something better. You're Wendy's kind of people.
All right, guys, let's get the ball rolling here talking about media at the top of the show. It's the norm. Now, this could be movies or television or music or comics or books or whatever you've been enjoying. And I want to start with you, George, because I think what I see here, if I recall right, it's something you were looking forward to the last time we spoke.
I'm sure I was, because I'm looking forward to this every time it comes out. It's Welcome to Wrexham. This is season 5 now of that series over on FX. It's the Hollywood sports feel-good story every season, regardless of how the team fares in their league. Now, we have had a lot of luck as Wrexham fans, if you want to call yourself that, over the last few years. John mentioned in the tease about, will this become a Premier League reality? I follow Wrexham pretty religiously outside of the TV show, so I already know the answer to that. I don't want to spoil it because those who want to watch just the show, I want you to be able to enjoy it in real time. They have released, as of this recording, a couple of the episodes so far for season 5, and I really liked how they framed, especially episode number 1, where they talked about what is something that has to happen in the soccer world or football for everybody else that's not American, that doesn't happen as much in American sports. In American sports, we've talked about it many times when we've talked about Wrexham. American sports teams do not change leagues. Yeah. If they're an NFL team, they're an NFL team until they're gone,
they're
right?
Always NFL.
But in football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, teams are constantly being relegated or promoted between different levels of competition in their leagues, no matter where they're at.
Which I like that. Well, it's a cool system.
It's a very cool system. I wish they would do it here because it would mean some real consequences for owners who have taken advantage of systems and players for far too long.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, when a team is promoted as frequently as Wrexham has been, the first team in European Football League history to be promoted 3 times back to back to back, one thing is clear. The level of talent that you could afford when you first started is not equivalent to the level of talent you're going to be facing after 3 promotions into what is essentially AAA ball, if we use our professional baseball analogy, because that's the closest we have in America. It's the guys who you started off playing with, guys who were like on the city league team, and those guys worked really hard and they kicked the crap out of everybody in the city league. And then by miracle of miracles, some guy came in and said, I want to make you guys a single A baseball club. Well, those guys could still compete pretty decently against the single A ranks because they're all fairly decent. But as you get up and you move up into AAA, which is with the league just below Major League Baseball guy, there's no way a city league player can compete at that level. So what do you have to do? Players have to be cut. New players have to be brought in. And that's what this episode was dealing with. It was basically a wholesale roster change, including the one that has been the center and what they showed in the episode as the heart of the team, Paul Mullen. Paul Mullen has moved on because he just is never going to get playing time in Championship League Wrexham versus League One, League Two, National League Wrexham. So they used that episode, that very first one, to put his story and the story of the team's heart being changed out, along with a local fan who died the year before, and his heart was given to a transplant recipient and saved. And so they married those two things really well together in that episode.
Literally change of heart. Wow.
Yeah. I watched the first couple episodes too, George. Loved the show. And you're right, though, because it almost breaks your heart because you watch these players that got them there, that got them to this level, and they're just not good enough anymore. And like the fans understand, they do understand, but they don't like it either. The owners understand, they don't like it either, but they know it's necessary. Even Paul Mullen, he understands why it had to happen. Like everybody understands, but nobody likes it.
Yeah. It's the rare player who can play at all levels and who can be afforded at all levels. Like he may be a premier caliber player, but you can't afford him on a National League team's salaries. I mean, he would take up the entire roster salary. Everybody else would be playing for free, and your coach wouldn't be able to be paid. Your front office staff would have to kick in their checks. I mean,
and you can imagine they're a victim of their own success. Had they just been promoted and then had a few years to evolve and then promoted a few years later, but when you go bang, 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 you keep moving up. You just Little League is out there playing MLB. Is like, wait, what? We can't do this. It's just
they said in I think it was in the first episode, they said that the amount of salary that they spent on bringing players in this year was equivalent to the total salary they've spent in the last 20 plus years.
Jeez, man.
So, I mean,
that's where the money's at.
That, they're doing what they can. And unfortunately, or fortunately, the ending is spoiled for me as far as the way that this season turns out.
Right. Yeah.
But I will say it's going to be dramatic. So if you're a fan of the show, you've got a lot still to look forward to. I'm not going to tell you which way it goes, but it definitely will be high drama all the way down to the very last game of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Apollo 13. Like we knew how that movie was going to end. It can still be an exciting movie, right? So seeing how it gets to that point, I think there's still, it's not ruined. Yeah.
Maybe a spoiler, but it's a really good show. Cool. It's a great thing. And other people are doing it, by the way. They're not the only ones who are doing this. They talked about that a little bit last year. There are other celebrities buying teams and trying to turn them around. There's even, I think I mentioned it, there's a YouTube channel who the guy designs jerseys, and he bought himself a West African team, like just on his own, and is rehabbing that team to trying to get them up to the African Premier League. So it's a good thing all the way around. It's one of the best things you can see in sports. And I think that's probably why soccer is one of the most favorite sports in the world.
Yeah.
You know, it has things that the rest of the sporting world does not have, but that's what I enjoyed watching. John.
Yeah.
I don't think the thing you watched is quite in the same feel-good genre as Welcome to Wrexham.
No, well, it's not. And again, it's late spring, early summer, as I said last time for more horror movies. And so
is there a time not for horror movies anymore?
There's always a good time for horror movies. So I finally got around to seeing the new 2026 Faces of Death. So you guys know the history of Faces of Death.
Yeah.
It was that gonzo exploitation thing that people said was banned in 48 countries, and it actually showed like people really dying. It didn't. That was the gimmick. That's what made it so popular, is that they didn't tell people that it was fake. They let them believe it was real. Anyway, so I was wondering, what are you going to do in 2026 with Faces of Death? Is it a remake? Is it a sequel?
There wasn't really a movie before per se, right? There was no story.
It was a fake documentary is what it was before.
It was like different segments from different videos and newsreels and all kinds of stuff before. Yeah.
You got it. Yeah. So I was very concerned, like, how do you redo this? Because with the internet, you can't fake anything. You know if it's real or not, right? So, it's AI, we recognize. Here's the concept. The new film, Faces of Death, exists in the world that we exist in, whereby the Faces of Death movies came out. Okay. And we thought they were real, and now they're not. And so you're following this young lady who her job, she works at like a TikTok or an Instagram, reviewing media that's been reported to see if it needs to be pulled offline. And of course, someone starts making these little short reels that mimic or duplicate things we saw in Face of Death, but maybe they are real this time. Like they're remaking them and putting them on social media. And so she comes across all of them because she's the one that's reviewing the people who report them to say, I think it's real. I think it's real. And they actually, we just talked about Stranger Things in the listener email. What's his name? Dacre Montgomery, who was in Faces of Death, in Stranger Things. He's the big bad in this. He's the guy. And so the whole film becomes is it real? Should we report it? And this young lady that works at the content moderation place, she's convinced it's real, and her bosses aren't. Said, no, give the people what they want. It's not your job to figure it out.
Oh, jeez.
So she kind of starts to investigate on her own to figure out. And of course, because she gets involved, the guy starts to come after her.
Okay.
So it becomes a slasher movie where they recreate, like the famous one is like the people eating the monkey brains. You probably remember that scene.
I do remember that, yeah.
They put a guy in the table and they smash his head with hammers. It's like, but all the people doing it are mannequins. It's real good and creepy. So to the end of all of that, I will say, is it worth watching? It's okay. I was concerned that it was going to be some kind of a remake and let's try to fool the world and say things are false and they're real, they're not. In the end, it really is kind of you guys remember this. And the reason the girl knows is she has a roommate who is a big fan of these old movies. So he has VHSs so he can pull it up and look. It doesn't expand on what we know about Faces of Death. You could say, what is there to expand upon? Faces of Death is just this thing that happened. It was a blip in culture. If this did not have Faces of Death to lean upon, it really doesn't have a hook. It's just kind of a girl sees videos that she thinks are real and gets involved, and she's being hunted. So it's a solid middle of the road film. If it's out for streaming and there's nothing else to watch, you've watched all the other good stuff, I'd give it a 2.5, kind of 3 tokens out of 5 kind of thing, middle of the road kind of deal. So you got to really want to watch it to watch it. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm dogging on it. Really, I'm just warning you, hey, watch out. Here's what it's not. Because we've talked about movies that purport themselves to be something they're not, and then they are. So Face of Death 2026. Okay. Check it out. It's worth seeing.
Okay.
Maybe. Mo, how about you? What have you been watching, my man?
Yeah. So, I'm always on the lookout for some new comedy show of some sort. And we ran across one, and it's called Guy Montgomery Spelling Bee.
Mm-hmm.
And take a spelling bee, take a comedy panel show, merge them together, and this is what the show is. Now, you may think that it's not going to be interesting, but it is amazingly funny. They are so funny because matter of fact, like normally, like with these show notes, I'll put like a link to the homepage or something for the show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put in 2 clips off YouTube because it's actually it's an Australian and a New Zealand show, so that's really the only place you can watch it.
You can watch it on YouTube.
So I put 2 clips from the show. So before you decide, watch those 2 clips and decide if the show is for you.
Okay.
It is chaotic. It's ridiculous. They actually spell. That is the core of the game, is them actually spelling words. The host is actively messing with the people constantly. Like there's a segment where they can't see, like, how the things you put your face for pictures, and it's like a person's like in a bathing suit or something like that. You know, like you take
like a board,
like a novelty
cut
board.
a hole in it. Yeah.
So they had to put their face in these things, and the guy's like, "Okay, here's some clues. You have to spell the profession you think you are." And he says you can ask you some questions about it. And he's, as a bonus, what is the spell what the person's holding in their hand? And like the first person's like an archaeologist or something. He's like, what are you holding in his hand? He's like, I don't know, a magnifying glass. You'll say magnifying glass, you spell it out. So he's like, MAG, blah, blah, blah. He's like, nope, that's not how you spell baguette. He's like, are you kidding me? And then the second person comes up and is like, okay, I know what this is. And it was like a person plays a flute. He's like, it's a flute, F-L-U-T, he says it's a baguette. He spells out baguette. Nope, that's not how you spell flute. And, I mean, he's just actively messing with them. The only prize you get is that the winner goes on to the next show. That's the only prize you get. Okay. So there's no money to be won or anything like that. The comedians they get are just fun. And because it's Australian and New Zealand, off-color humor abounds. I mean, is everywhere. And sometimes you watch them and they're joking, but sometimes they just get like so upset because they're like, are you kidding me? Like, how do you expect me to do this? They even have, and some people actually surprise you. Like you get somebody up there and you're like, spell whatever, dinucleic acid or something like that. And they spell it. You're like, holy crap. Like, okay, I give them, didn't realize that smart. So again, especially if you like the comedy panel shows, especially like the British ones, like Taskmaster and all those kinds of things, absolutely guarantee you will not be sad if you watch this one. There's two versions. One, it started in New Zealand and then they made an Australian show. And then of course, when they're in Australia, they're making fun of New Zealand, which is funny because the host is from New Zealand. But again, they don't take that personally. They just laugh at it. So if you get a chance to absolutely check it out, you will not be disappointed. It's called Guy Montgomery's Spelling Bee.
Montgomery. So it will come as no surprise to you that I won a spelling bee in middle school.
Oh,
but, I didn't go to the finals or anything. Just in my local school, and then I went to the state one and I washed out, and that was good. But I can still remember the word that I screwed up that got me out of it. But I'm not going to tell you. It's embarrassing now. But
there,
I was curious about the difficulty. Like, is it really more of about the game and then try to spell it, or is it really like super difficult words that they throw at them?
Well, it's a mix because like the very first round is that he has these three receptacles, he calls them. One's the coward's cup, the person's purse, and then the bucket of bravery. And
choose your difficulty.
Choose your difficulty. You get 1 point for one, 2 point for the other, three, other ones. They picked the bucket of bravery a lot, actually. And the words that come up, you're like, okay, I'm trying to spell it. I'm like, and I'm really bad at spelling in the air. I need to write it down on a piece of paper. But you watch them doing it, and they say sometimes they fail miserably. Sometimes they do really well. But again, it's like it's all just for the fun, though, which makes it a great show. And they said, and there are real spelling words in there every now and then, so it's worth watching.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Actually, he does that for you, but they're not like your normal sentences.
They're like screwed up sentences,
or they're funny sentences. Like it's, again, you have to watch it to see, but it's definitely worth watching.
Cool. All right, man. Good. Stick around. We'll be right back.
From origin to legend,
I need to become a symbol. I need to become Batman.
Become the hero.
Someone's gotta step up.
Build the legacy.
Let's get to work. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. I'm allergic to nuts.
Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight.
This is my favorite part.
Out now on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and PC.
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
Be sure to subscribe to or follow Gen X Grown Up wherever you listen. And while you're there, rate and review the show too. It helps more than you know.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, the clapper.
Lets you turn things on or off from anywhere in the room. Just plug in the clapper and a television, lamp, stereo, almost anything you want to clap on and off.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, the clapper.
All right, we all have something to talk about in tech and toys this week. John, I'm very interested in what you have because I have the big problem with this.
Do you? Okay.
Oh, yes. Big time.
Yeah. So I have long been frustrated by the fact that so many of the applications I run in Windows, the icon for them is a bluish, squarish blob. Like so many of the tools, Trello and Edge and Discord, like they're all just these blue blobs. And I often have to take time and figure out which one is it. And then I have a row of them on my taskbar to choose from because we keep adding more things. We keep adding, I mean, we've paired back, but every once in a while we'll expand. Let's add WhatsApp because it helps us talk with our partners overseas. Let's add this, as whatever. So I forget how I came across it. Maybe it was in a news article, but I found this piece of software called Ferdium, Ferdium. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to provide you a link to put down in the show notes, of course. And I've been playing with this for about 2 weeks now, and it's not perfect, but what it does very, very well. So one of the podcast edits not too long ago on Twitch, we were talking about, remember the days of ICQ and AIM? It was on the rewind we did about early days of the internet, right? And then there was one called Trillion that you could plug in 2 or 3. I see George nodding. I don't know if you remember this. It could log into AIM and ICQ and something else in one place.
And it gave you like all one interface kind of
deal. So this is kind of like that for other apps. So when you run Ferdium, it has a whole bunch of, call them sockets or buckets. Think of like Dockers almost inside of a piece of application. And in it, you can log into, basically it's a bunch of pre-built, plus you can do your own. You can log into Slack, Discord, WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook Messenger, Skype, Teams, Gmail, Outlook, Google Calendar, Proton Mail, Trello, Google Keep, Todoist, all these things. And then you have one icon on your desktop that is just a little purple circle, and you log into it, and a tab down the side are all the different applications, like all these messaging services, all of these different tools that you use, calendars and all. Instead of having them open in 20 places, they're in one spot. The only one I didn't get to work well for me, and George was there to witness it, I had Discord running in it, and it wasn't passing audio through Discord. We weren't able to hear each other. So I pulled Discord out of it. But even so, I have it running my WhatsApp and my calendar and my Google messages, my text messaging. That's in its own tab. Facebook Messenger I have in there. I have about 8 things running that used to be 8 icons across the bottom of my desktop. And now it's one icon. Now you could argue, well, is that better? Because now you have to click one and then pick another one from within there. I find it nice because I often am copying, pasting between those apps, and now they're all in one window. So it works really well for me.
So John did show this to me and got me to give it a test run. I did not have nearly as successful a test run as John has had. I've given up on it pretty quickly.
All right.
I think it's important to point out to the listeners, this is strictly a pared down Chromium browser software tool.
Yep.
It's not its own piece of software. It's literally just it's a reformatted way of using a Chrome browser in any format. That's all it is. So that's why you can have all those tools supported, because all those tools have Chrome web abilities. If they don't have a Chrome web ability, you're not going to be able to use it in this tool.
Unless someone writes a custom socket for it. But for now, yes.
Right.
Okay.
Number 2, the problem that I had with it was one of the basic ones that it has, and I forget which one it is. I couldn't even get it to log in properly to the service. That's why I gave up on it, because every time I kept clicking login, it just kept refreshing itself and going back to the login thing. And I'm like, I don't have time to learn something that I already do on my own inside of Chrome, because where John has a bunch of applications, Windows desktop applications across his taskbar, I have Chrome groups that I use. So I have a personal group. I have a media management group for all my application stuff. I have one for my work. I have one for GenXGrownUp Creative, one for GenXGrownUp Business, one for Bit by Bit, one for Mule. And when I click those, it opens up that set of tabs, and I have them all across my Chrome browser. What I like about the Chrome version of this, and it's not just Chrome, it's several other browsers do the same kind of tab stuff, is that just like John's application, they're all in one place, but I can close mine down and save memory. When John opens up his Ferdium, his memory is taken over by those applications just like they would in Chrome. It's not saving any memory, which was the thing I was hoping it would maybe do until I realized it was a it was based on Chrome. So it's using the same amount of memory. It's not making it any easier for me. And as a matter of fact, on one of the applications, I couldn't even get it logged in. So that's why I walked away from it. But John's having a good experience, so it may just be me.
I tell you, there was one that took a little perseverance. I forget which one it was, too. It might have been Windows or Facebook Messenger. I don't know. It would keep flashing the screen and flashing the screen. But finally, once it logged in once, it's like it found its groove. And it sounds like you've already done this inside of Chrome, right? But I tend to use the desktop applications that work really well here. So I have found it to be a time saver for me. If you don't already have a solution, if you have the problem I did, where all those desktop apps, and it's free, right? So you can check it out, and you might fire it up and be frustrated with it and run away like George did and go, it's not for me. Or you might log in like me and go, oh, I work more like John and it might work better for me. But it doesn't cost you anything to try it. And they even say you can, if it's not listed, you can make your own. Give it a name, give it an address, it'll try. And you can kind of write your own. Like I said, you could like write a new socket for a different app if it's not in there. But it has dozens, if not hundreds, of different ones in there, and I find it handy. So
okay, cool.
Ferdium, that's the thing. So try it out, Mo. I'll be curious. You try it and see whose experience more closely matches up with what you do. It's going to depend on how you work. To that end, Mo, short of this gadget I have, what have you been checking out in tech?
Oh, sure. So Mother's Day just passed, and I was trying to find like a small gift for my daughter. She has 2 kids, just find like a little Mother's Day gift for her. And she's one of these people that's easy to shop for, but also hard to shop for, if that makes sense. Like, you know what she likes, and you could get her a whole bunch of stuff, but she just doesn't have space for a lot of things in her house. They just have, you know what I mean? So I don't want to buy her another this that she'd have to find a spot for, or find another this.
She would love it, but what's she going to do with it?
Exactly. So what I found on Amazon, of course, is basically it's an outdoor decoration, which I was like, oh, okay. It's not in her house. It's outside her house. You put it in the yard, and actually it's a very cool looking dragon with a lantern that you hang on like a tree, basically. And it uses solar. So at night, the light lights up. It looks super cool. It actually does. And, she's into D&D and fantasy and role-playing games and all that stuff too. So it fits kind of her thing. It was really inexpensive. It was like $24, $25, something like that, relatively speaking. Solar. So you can hang it up really anywhere in your yard. So it'll just work as long as you could get sunlight, of course. And from what I heard, she says that the light will stay on pretty bright for a few, like at least like halfway through the night. Like earlier in the morning, come out, like the battery doesn't last that long. But I'm like, how long does that have to last? Really? As long as it gets you through the first part of the night, that's pretty much all you care about. And he said it was just a nice gift that she didn't have to find a spot for, which was like my primary criteria on this.
Yeah. You kind of touched on what my question was going to be, which is it's solar powered, but you hang it on a tree, and under the tree is where there's not as much light. But I mean, you're still going to get some light, right? And of course, this could hang on anything. It hang on a pole or whatever. You could,
yes, you could. It comes. And they have other things other than dragons too that you can get. Like they have an eagle and some other things depending on who you're buying it for, of course. But again, it's like I said, if you're just looking for something as a quick, especially like stocking stuffer, or don't know what to get somebody, but they like their yard or something like that, I thought it was a good kind of option to get for somebody in that situation.
Did they have a Bigfoot? I'd hang a Bigfoot on a tree.
If it wasn't for the price, it seems like this would be a nicer, more fun way to do the little like lawn lantern things that you see where people are lining their driveway and stuff. Because those are all so generic at this point. There's like the same 6 designs across 27 different platforms, but something that's more in line with your taste. If they could find a way to get this like to the $5 level, I would buy like 10 of them and put them around the yard, like around the driveway and stuff. If it was a theme that I enjoyed.
That's a good idea. Ooh, business idea.
Oh, yeah, right. Business. There you go. I'll tell you, George, to that end, I don't know how often you frequent the Dollar Tree. You're familiar with the store, the Dollar Tree, right?
Yeah.
My wife is addicted to it, so we go quite frequently. They very often have these cute little ceramic guys, like a frog, and both of his eyes are lights. And on his back is a solar thing. And those are designed to be kind of like a longer walkway and that kind of thing. Not exactly as cool as what Mo's describing, but closer to the lawn path thing that you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. No, I saw your video on the Schoolhouse Rock air fresheners, and I want like 27 packages of those. But I see those things in Dollar Tree, and sometimes they're cool and they're kitschy and whatnot, but the dragon, like that's very specific.
Yes,
like,
of course.
I was thinking, you know what would be really neat if they had glowy D20 lawn ornament things.
Sure.
Like that would be like, they don't have to be giant ones, but just, like, and they could glow different colors if you want to, red, blue, green, whatever, doesn't matter. But
baseball or softball size, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of stuff would be kind of neat.
That would be cool. All right.
Get after it, Mo. Get after it.
So that's what we have. How about George? What do you have for us today?
Well, so the thing that I'm talking about certainly is not going to come across for $5 or $25 or anywhere near that. You guys remember a while back, I bought and set up an 80% pinball machine from a company called Wonderland. The theme was Alice Goes to Wonderland.
Alice. Yeah.
Got it on a Kickstarter a little over a year ago. It got delivered at the beginning of this year, set it up, and my family and I have been enjoying it ever since. It's a blast. It does feel like real pinball, but not quite the same bells and whistles of your, brand new Stern machine that you would see at your barcade or anything like that. But still very enjoyable, very playable. And it was priced at $1,000. That was the thing on the Kickstarter, the hook, so to speak. But they have come out with their second machine. They just made the announcement, and pre-sales go up actually tomorrow from the day that we're recording this. So I'm kind of waiting for the mouse button clicking, that I'm going to have to do to be able to get one of these things. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles this time. Looks really fun. 3 ramps. They do have 2 different variants of the machine. They have a standard and they have a premium. The standard is going to run you about $1,000, and the premium is going to run you $1,499. So not cheap, but still very affordable for a brand new physical pinball machine, even though it's 80% the size of a regular machine.
I just have 2 quick questions. One is this a Kickstarter thing again? Are they doing it through Kickstarter?
No.
It's not. Second is, where are you going to put it?
Well, fortunately, because it's an 80% size machine, it doesn't take up quite the real estate in your house that
a full size,
regular full size machine will take up. And we found that in the office, which used to be the area that I was going to set up for the GenXGrownUp studio over here, that's become my wife's default office since she works remotely now. I moved some things around in that area. And so there is like a little pinball corner right now where I have the Alice Goes to Wonderland machine. I have my X Gaming X Arcade system set up there. And I also have that At Game Legends Micro, which is this tiny little virtual pinball machine that I bought legs for and put up.
Oh, that's right.
So it's as tall as a regular pinball machine, but it's literally the size of those pinball machines that we could buy when we were kids. So I have space in that little area for this new machine.
Cool.
I remember when you got the Alice one, and here on the show, you gave some pretty fair but open criticism of some of the challenges you had with it. So the fact that, I guess I'm almost leading the question to you, but it seems to me that the way they remedied the criticisms that you had of that first one has led you to want to give them another shot with another table now. Because I know you didn't come away feeling awesome about the first one, but you did kind of say it's new, it's something different, they're working at it. How does that attitude toward the first one affected your approach to this one?
Well, so I don't know that they remedied anything.
Okay.
The update that is supposed to happen this month, still no word on that. So none of the code has been updated. I'm ready anytime that they're ready. I've got it all hooked up to the internet. It's ready to go. But no code updates to this point. Obviously, they couldn't remedy anything on the build because I did the build and it's done.
It's a physical thing.
They did replace the one part that I was having issues with. So that's nice. I think why I want to get this machine, though, is because even with the problems that I faced, it's still just fun.
Okay.
And we still do it together as a family. For instance, my wife, I have these little alarms set up throughout her day to remind her to get up and go walk around the house a little bit so she's not just sitting in her chair at her desk. And sometimes instead of walking around the house, she just gets up and turns around and starts playing pinball. When Michael comes home at the end of the day and she's not working in there, he'll play several rounds of pinball. we'll go in there and play it every now and then as a family, play a 3-player game. Just having the machine, which is what I think all pinball enthusiasts probably will say the same thing. If you have the machine in your house, you get a lot more use out of it. It just, the convenience of being able to just sit up from your couch, walk over to your favorite pinball machine that you own and start playing without the hassle of driving somewhere, putting quarters in things. Don't get me wrong. Those things are a lot of fun too. Anytime we go to a convention or event, I love the pinball sections, but it's just so much fun. And this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's the other real draw.
It looks very cool.
It's a much better IP than Alice Going to Wonderland. Don't get me wrong. That's a fun machine, but I can only hear so many times off with her head before I'm going to blow my fucking brains out. I want to hear Shredder and some of the other characters.
Cowabunga. You hear that 8 million times now.
It does have a new playfield, which was the thing I was most worried about. I was worried they were just going to put the same playfield with a different skin over this one. They did not. It's a completely redesigned playfield. There's 3 ramps. There is a new mechanism for the ball lock. There's a tube that looks like a sewer tube that drops down into one of the drain lanes. So a lot of fun in this machine just from the trailer. I don't know how long it's going to take them to get them to us. I hope it's faster than the Kickstarter was, because that was over a year. I'm guessing that since they have their factory locked down and their tooling locked down and their process locked down, we should get these machines much faster. They do go on sale on the 21st of May, and it's while supplies last. They have early bird prices as well that are a little bit cheaper. Like, because I backed the Kickstarter, I'm actually able to get the premium for $1,100. So about $350 off or $400 off, something like that.
Freaking flyer.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm having fun with this one. I think I'm going to have more fun with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles machine.
Just out of curiosity, who has the high score in your house?
Oh, I do. I have all the high scores. my high score table, because they only keep, this machine only keeps high scores for single player games, not for multiplayer games, unfortunately. But on the single player games, I think my top high score is over 2 million and my lowest high score is 500,000. Matter of fact, Michael just played it the other night and he said, I got 400,000 and I didn't even get on the damn scoreboard. What are you doing, Dad?
Ruining everybody's fun with your skill, damn it.
Can't help it.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Experience a membership that backs your business journey with American Express Business Platinum. When you pay with membership rewards points for all or part of an eligible flight booked with a qualifying airline through Amex Travel, you can get 35% of those points back, up to 1 million points back per calendar year. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
Each episode of Gen X Grown Up has show notes loaded with links where you can learn more about our topics. And there's even more to see and hear over at GenXGrownUp.com.
Like a lot of people, I'm taking better care of my body. Better care of my skin, too. With Skin Bracer Aftershave. Shaving is rough, so I use Skin Bracer. It cools and smooths skin. Tightens pores. That's the tingle. Smells great, too. But Skin Bracer's not cologne. It's skin care that feels good. That's why more men are saying, thanks. I needed that.
Skin Bracer, also in spice, takes care of men who take care of their skin. Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By men.
This is the main event of the podcast. For the 3 in attendance locally and the millions listening around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time!
All right, we're 3 for 3. All 3 of us have something here in the game section to talk about this week. So I'm going to jump right in because my thing is old and not necessarily very relevant. And I want to get to the stuff that John and particularly Mo are playing
and
more.
Everyone just tuned out.
Exactly. I I've been kind of addicted lately to the Mod Retro Chromatic, specifically the Tetris cartridge that came with my system. So they sent me a bunch of stuff. Thank you to the folks at Mod Retro. I got the Tetris cartridge, I have Rayman, and then I have that Atari 3-pack that has Centipede, Berserk, and
Asteroids, I think.
Asteroids, there you go. But the Tetris cartridge, I did not play Tetris on the Nintendo Game Boy. Never did. I know that was the big thing. They've made a damn movie out of it and everything. There's documentaries left, right, and center. I never played it, so I didn't have that experience because by the time that thing came out, I was not into that stuff. I was into PC gaming more, I guess.
Yeah.
The only Tetris I ever played was in the arcade when they had that, the one with the little Russian marquee and all. But I'm going to tell you, I'm kind of damn sad that I missed out after playing this Tetris on this. That is a fun damn way to play Tetris on a little handheld device with a tiny little screen and that music pissing me off every second that I'm trying to, get the lines all stacked. But I'm having a fun time with it. I'm not great, but I've got the high score on my device, so to hell with everybody else. It's fun, and it has several different options on it. It's got like 4 different modes you can play in. And the device itself, the Chromatic, I didn't know, John, you didn't tell us, or you probably did in the video, and I don't watch our videos either, so I wouldn't know. But
like, listen to the show. No, listen.
I know, right? But it's like a hard aluminum thing. It's weighty. It's not like a little piece of plastic kind of cheap thing. It's
premium.
It's solid premium. It's a really nice system. I cannot wait to play more games on this system as they become available. And I guess I can play regular Game Boy games on this thing and Game Boy Color, maybe. I don't know, but I like the system, and the Tetris cartridge is the one that has me hooked at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, we reviewed the Chromatic. It had to be several months ago now. I guess when it first came out, we looked at it. And if you're not familiar, it basically is a supercharged Game Boy. It has, the screen is like pixel accurate to the number of pixels the Game Boy had, but it has a layer over the top of it. So you can, as you said, play original Game Boy games, but also like they're putting out new cartridges that expand upon the basic Game Boy. So those enhanced games, I think they will play in a Game Boy, but they won't use all the cool enhanced new stuff that the Chromatic can do, more processing power and all of that. So some of the games you play on there, like, how could this be on a Game Boy? Well, it kind of can't. It's using the infrastructure of Game Boy, the controls and the screen resolution, but with some new bells and whistles. And it's surprising how, it's not, at this point, it's not that surprising to us how old technology, sometimes you just need a little boost to remind you how cool it was. And you're like, I don't need the new stuff. This old stuff is just about good enough,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll be sitting here in my recliner. I'll be watching an episode of Castle or Blue Bloods or, Love, Death, and Robots, whatever. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, I don't feel like watching more. And I'll just reach over to the table next to me, pick up the Chromatic and play for 15 or 20 minutes.
Fires up fast.
You just turn it on. Boom. Sweet. You're playing. You're selecting your mode. You're into it. I don't think they have a ton of Mod Retro cartridges out yet.
Yeah, not a ton.
The Game Boy has a crap ton.
That's true.
So the only downside is just how expensive those carts are these days, because everybody's collecting them now. So like cartridges that you could get for $1 bin at Goodwill now are like $40 and shit. But
scarcity.
If it's a good game, I'm going to give it a shot. So that's what I'm playing. Like I said, though, I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. Let's move over to John's. John?
Yeah.
I know you're a music guy. How is that? Is this a music game? What the hell is this?
A little bit. So if you might not remember the name, but a few episodes ago, I was looking forward to a game called Mixtape. And what I said was, it's kind of like Life is Strange mixed with music. So the game, as I said, is called Mixtape. It's out right now. I picked it up. It was on sale. Launch sales usually 10, 15% off. I think it's maybe $20 new. I maybe paid $16 for it or something. Not a big deal. The game looks for all the world like the Inside the Spider-Verse movies. You know how it's like kind of a 12 frames per second kind of choppy animation by designed to look like that. The concept is you play the protagonist, who's this young lady. It's like the early 90s, like cassettes are just kind of on the way out. She's just working her way into burning CDs. And it is the last week of high school for her and her 2 friends. And she wants to move to New York to become a professional musician, actually a music director, like for film and television, who they need to know what music you put inside of a film or whatever to invoke certain emotions. And that's what she's done her whole life, is make mixtapes for people and curate mixtapes based on certain events. And so the game's chapters are broken up into track 1. This song, a real song from the real world, could be something back to the 50s or 60s or whatever, is the soundtrack for these kids skateboarding down the hill to get to somebody's house, and they're having a conversation along the way. In a very Life is Strange way, once you get to the place, you're kind of walking around her room, seeing what has a dot on it, clicking on that to investigate the thing and learn more about it. Or maybe something in her room will remind her of something her and her friends did together, and it'll cut away to another track, a flashback of the night that one of them got too drunk at a party and they jumped in a shopping cart to get away from the police or whatever. So it is a coming of age, but the more you are, the more important music is to you. We've all heard that thing, well, music is the soundtrack of my life, whatever. We've heard that before. That's different levels of truth for different people. For some people, music is a background. For some people, music is integral. For some people, music is the focus of whatever it was, and especially the music we grew up with. And so while this is just like on the tail end of what Gen Xers would have experienced, early 90s, being in high school. And I'll tell you, they keep surprising me. There's a mini game where you have to rewind a cassette with a pencil. I mean, it's very much the kind of stuff you would expect. And it has gotten a little criticism for the fact that you almost can't lose the game. If you just put the controller down, it will just kind of play itself and get to the next part of the game on its own. But for me, I'm not doing that test. The story it's telling and the way that it weaves music into the story and the way that some parts of the game are kind of like a rhythm game. They're riding in a car and you can hit the buttons to either headbang or click the door lock or punch the lights in the top of the car or whatever. It's the way that if you grew up with music and it was important to you in your youth, it's going to resonate with you. And even if that doesn't, it is a fun little coming of age adventure game in the style of Don't Nod's kind of Life is Strange series.
I mean, it sounds very intriguing. I went and looked at the trailer while you were going through it. And it kind of reminds me of the animation style of the most recent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, since we were talking about that pinball a little while ago. But having Stranger Things mixed with music, or not Stranger Things.
Life Strange.
What was that game?
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. Something strange. Anyway, that helped me to want to play it just because that video game was so...
Oh, man.
I don't know. It caught the zeitgeist at the time, I guess, in the gaming world. And
impactful.
It did it because it brought you back to those times in your life. And if this game does that with music, whereas that other one did it with images and pictures and stuff like that,
Polaroids,
I could see that being very engrossing and want to make me keep playing it for a while. How much does it cost on Steam? Do you know?
I think it was like $20 or $25. And I said, I got it a launch sale. So it was probably 16 or 19 bucks. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. That's not bad.
No. It's good quality. I think it's worth checking out. I think so. Mixtape.
Ooh.
Mo, how about you? Round us out. What have you been playing?
Sure. So it's the game is Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. It was on my wish list because it came out in February and it's been on my wish list. And then Steam had one of their many, many, many sales and it was down to like $20. So I said, okay, let me buy it. I got it. And if you are a Trekkie, you're going to love this game. You will absolutely love this game. It's kind of part of it is like you're managing and you're playing the Voyager scenario. You're captain of the Voyager, or you're member of the Voyager. It gets sent across to that wormhole and you're trying to make it back. You're playing that whole story. You can make different decisions than what were made on the show because you had like the rebel group. I forget their name.
The Maquis.
You could put them into your crew, some of them and some of them not. You could change that up if you want to.
Okay.
There's a lot of ship management in it. If you kind of remember, like they did like a Fallout vault or something like that. It was like a side thing where you kind of like manage the vaults and you could kind of like set rooms to be certain things. And, you know, like this makes food. This is a dining room. Well, the ship's a mess. So you have to like start fixing that stuff up. So, you know, do you want to fix up the medical bay first? Or do you need more crew quarters? Because you're also managing crew morale that affects things, you know, how much power? Oh, we have to fix the engines. Is that a priority? Because you need to have the XYZ. You go around to different planets collecting resources that allow you to fix these things. And then intermixed with all of this is the story of Voyager. So every now and then, like you find Neelix and he convinces you that you need to go to this place and you got to save this person and da da da. If you do that, he'll help you, whatever, and so you got to play that story out, basically. You decide who goes into the landing crew, depending on who you pick. That gives you different options for what happens. Because it say, so-and-so should happen. You could use so-and-so because Tuvok, because his science skill will give you this % chance of success, or you use this person because their combat skill may be, So it's a lot of thinking, a lot of management, but you definitely feel like you're in that Star Trek universe. You definitely feels like you're playing the Voyager. And I can imagine, and there's the ship-to-ship combat, of course, which is awesome. Yeah. But again, like when you first start off, your phasers don't work, your shields don't work, your engine's crashed. It's like the ship is just a complete mess because like it's a lot of fun. It did really well as far as just general ratings from different groups and different game raters and stuff. And you can spend a lot of time either just managing a ship, and it doesn't seem like it forces you to play the story. Like you can just sort of fix the ship and then just jump back into the story when you want. At least it seems like that way to me. I haven't played it too far into it to know if like it's going to force me to do certain things. But for right now, it's just a lot of fun just trying to, get the ship back up and get out of the Delta Quadrant.
Yep. I'm a bit curious because you said it's really well reviewed, but I was looking because first of all, it's a little confusing when you're looking at it on Steam because there's like 3 different things when you pull up Star Trek Voyager. And so the one that says it's the full game also says new update across all of its graphics, which I'm like, okay, well, that's confusing.
Is it Across the Unknown? Is that the one you're looking at?
Yeah. It says Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown, story-driven survival strategy game, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that's it.
I haven't seen reviews done this way. So it has recent reviews, which say very positive. There's 153 of them. But then below that, it says English reviews. So I don't know why Steam is saying English reviews. And on that one, it's actually mostly positive. So not quite very positive like you would expect the way you were describing the game. So maybe some people have had some issues with it.
Maybe.
But the visuals look solid. I'm not going to say they look like,
no,
they're not blowing me away.
No.
But it looks more tactical than story driven.
There is a lot of tactical aspects to this game. Absolutely. The story is kind of mixed within the tactical parts of it. Like because you say you're doing a lot of tactical as far as managing ship, but then there's a story. You have to get to this planet to save so-and-so. So there is a lot of tactical. You may have to go here because you have to negotiate with somebody for supplies.
Would you say less Alan Wake and more XCOM?
Yes. Yeah, actually that's a good way of putting it. It's probably more XCOM.
Oh. That's a good comparison.
Except you're doing a lot more like the ship management. Actually, XCOM had that too, actually. So yeah, I guess it is more XCOM, but there isn't that tactical first person aspect of it, or the tactical third person. That there is no tactical fighting. It's just when they go to a planet, it kind of says like, okay, here's the situation. How do you want to handle it? And you kind of decide who handles it and what they do.
I think that's probably why it appeals so much to you, because I was thinking about it myself. Now, I know John was the way bigger Voyager fan than I was. He and his wife, I mean, they love Voyager. I was more Deep Space Nine. Yeah. But as a Star Trek Trekkie fan, I would latch onto a story-driven thing a lot more than a tactical XCOM kind of thing, which I know is your type of game.
Yeah. And there definitely is the story. You are playing the story of Voyager. Like all the stuff in the episodes that happen seem to be coming up.
Gotcha.
So, but again, I've played it like a few hours. So I don't know how far in it goes,
Yeah. It's interesting, George, you make that observation, because when this first came out, I was reading about it, and that was really that was the split that I was reading. It was like, hey, if you like the micromanaging all your resources stuff, you're going to like this. If you don't like that, you might lean away from it. So there are other games out there that are mostly loaded toward story and less toward that kind of management stuff, out there. So different games for different folks. So
absolutely.
If you're a Trekkie like Mo, it's probably better for him than it might be one of those story driven ones. So I can see, good for a variety of fans.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, boy, if they ever do an Alan Wake version of a Star Trek thing, I'm probably all in. Just like Mo loves this one because it's more XCOM.
The structure. Yep. There you go. All right. We'll be right back.
Where is Daredevil? I'm right here. Don't miss the return of Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again.
So what's next?
I feel liberated. We're going to take this city back. Over-medicated. In an all-new season, now streaming only on Disney+.
They're hunting us. It's time we started hunting them.
I can work with that.
This should be tons of fun.
Marvel Television's Daredevil, Born Again, now streaming only on Disney+.
This episode is brought to you by Ferrero. Soccer's biggest stage is approaching, and Ferrero is making it easy to go all in. Pick any 2 Ferrero brands from Kinder Bueno to Ferrero Rocher, and you could win the $1 million grand prize, plus an exciting range of daily and weekly prizes. Don't miss your shot. Official rules apply. Learn more at goallinandwin.com.
If you're a die-hard Gen X grown-up, you can pledge your support by clicking join on YouTube or by becoming a patron at GenXGrownUp.com/Patreon.
No little cinnamon gum freshens breath longer than Big Red.
So kiss a little longer, hold tight a little longer, be close a little longer, longer with Big Red. That Big Red freshness smells right through it. Your fresh breath goes on and on. While you chew it, say goodbye a little longer, make it last a little longer. Give your breath long-lasting freshness with Big Red.
And as we round out the back end of the show, you know, we always like to pause right here and talk about the things we are currently looking at or looking forward to between now and the next time we get together, which won't be too long. George, let's start with you. I want to know what you have on the horizon.
Yeah. First up, the new Steven Spielberg summer blockbuster, Disclosure Day, all about aliens seeming to overtake our bodies.
Is that what it is?
That comes out June 12th. I don't looks like it. I mean, she's on the news and all of a sudden she starts clicking away. So that's what it feels like.
Something.
Next up is Masters of the Universe. I've been kind of looking forward to this since its announcement.
Me too, kind of.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the first one was so awful that you almost kind of are forced to look forward to this if you enjoyed Masters of the Universe when you were a kid. That comes out on June the 5th. But the thing that I'm looking forward to, I think the most, that I had heard about but forgotten about, comes out the same day, June 5th on Apple TV. It's a new series based on the Cape Fear storyline. Now, I found the Cape Fear movies with the what's his name? Nick Nolte and
that's from a while ago.
The
Raging Bull. What's that actor's name? I can never remember.
De Niro. Yeah.
De Niro. Thank you. Robert De Niro. I was like, Robert Duvall. No, not him. Robert De Niro. That's the Cape Fear that I knew growing up. I know there was an older movie before that, but the plots and the storyline look really interesting, and breaking it up into a TV series, I think might allow for a little bit more of the suspense and the thriller and the nerves and everything that Cape Fear. Yeah, I think it might allow for that to build even more and longer and better. And I'm just looking forward to it because it's got a decent cast in it. And I think Josh Lucas is the male actor who's the lawyer, and his wife, I forget who she is, but they're both lawyers. And apparently from one of the trailers, it looks like they purposefully did something to get him put in jail. And then he gets out. Yep. And of course, the storyline goes from there with all the torture and everything. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Cape Fear, June 5th, Apple TV. I think it's going to be a pretty solid series. Apple TV doesn't
they generally do.
Good record.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. John, what about you?
Yeah, so a couple of things. First, there's a new, I'm a sucker for animated show. There's a new animated series called Mating Season.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. It's the same people who did Big Mouth, Nick Kroll and those people. And Big Mouth was kind of like it was all about puberty and these kids coming into their bodies and changing bodies and all that change. And this appears to be that for animals. Like it's animals and like their mating rituals, but they're like people who live in houses. It's a cartoon. It's silly. And Nick Kroll's one of the voices. It's on Netflix. It premieres, by the time you hear this, it premiered May 22nd. I don't know if it's all of it or episode at a time, but Netflix, they usually drop it all at once. The next thing I didn't see coming, but I might be ready to play another Lego Batman game. There's a brand new one called Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. It doesn't just go through, this is like, it's not just the movies, not just the cartoon or anything. This is the legend of Batman, starting with when his parents got killed, that we've all seen that, but now you can play it in a Lego game, apparently. it follows the entire history of, I don't know the Batman history other than what I saw in the movies. George and Mo, you guys know more, being comic book hounds that you are, but it looks like the base version of this game digital is $69.
Whoa. For a Lego game.
Early reviews for people who got it early already have it as overwhelmingly positive. And I'm like, what?
For that much money?
Wow.
That seems a lot.
I'm going to have to wait for a sale, but
yeah, absolutely.
Lego games can be really good. When they're good, they're really good. So maybe. So
I mean, the Dark Knight storyline is very popular. If it follows that one,
I know.
You could see it.
Yeah. So that's on the side burner for when it gets cheaper, probably, but I'm looking forward to reading more about it. The thing I'm most looking forward to is another horror movie. It's that time of the year. As we said, there's a new one called Back Rooms that deals with liminal spaces and big empty hallways and creepy stuff happening. I know very little about it. My daughter, my horror movie buddy who knows more, she knows more about this, like these legends and the creepypastas and stuff. But May 29th might be just as this show is coming out, I guess. Well, actually, probably the day this comes out is the Thursday early release. So it's coming out right now. So I'm very much looking forward to that because I'm sure we're going to go and see it sometime or other. So how about you, Mo? What do you have coming up?
Sure. See, you got Rick and Morty, new season is starting May 24th.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which I didn't even know that was coming. It just popped up. There's a new series that Tom Hanks produced about World War II. It's like something like 12 episodes. It's called World War II with Tom Hanks, not original title. It's on a History Channel. So on May 25th, I've heard a lot of good things about it. And I think he would do a pretty good job. I mean, didn't he do, I forget what other, he did another war, but besides the movie, he did like a documentaries.
I was going to say, he did Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan, so he seems like he has a lot of respect.
Was he involved in the Band of Brothers?
I think he was involved with Band of Brothers too. He might have been producer or something on that.
Okay.
But so I'm looking forward to that because, I like history and, like Tom Hanks, hard to go wrong, right? What I'm most looking forward to is a TV show that I didn't even know was coming out. Actually, it's going to be out by the time you listen to this on Netflix. It's called The Burrows. Have you guys heard of this one at all?
I think so.
It's got Alfred Molina, Bill Pullman, Gina Davis in it.
Yes.
They basically go into a almost utopian retirement community.
Yep.
And weird supernatural stuff starts happening. And there are a bunch of basically elderly people who are trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And they say there's a lot of it sounds like they go to this retirement community just basically, okay, I'm gonna live here and die. I mean, that's kind of like but now they seem like they have a purpose. So they kind of get together and they're trying to figure out
more energized.
What's going on in this town? What's happening? We've been talking about Stranger Things quite a bit. The two guys, they are the directors of this. So this is a Stranger.
The Duffer Brothers.
The Duffer Brothers are do this one. So it looks weird. It looks funny because it's definitely a comedy as well. I have no idea what to expect from it, which I kind of like as well. But I got the basic gist, so that's why I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. All right. That's a lot of good stuff to look forward to. Now, before we get out of the show, I want to thank a new patron that joined us. But I know one of the benefits you get for being one of our supporters is you can ask a question we answer here on the show. And I see you have one in the chamber, Mo.
Oh, yeah, I do. It's from Joe H. I love this question. He says, I love Saturday morning cartoons as a kid. Who didn't? He says, I remember grabbing a bowl of cereal and sitting and watching some of my favorites. He said, if you had to make the perfect half hour of cartoon watching, what cartoon would you watch and what cereal would you be eating?
Easy. Easy. I can start if you want.
Go for it, man.
Easy. I need a Hanna-Barbera block. I want to have like Speed Buggy and Grape Ape, maybe, some of their cartoons in a half-hour block. And I'm eating Grins and Smiles and Giggles and Laughs cereal, my favorite cereal from when I was a kid. They don't make it anymore. But, man, if I could just go back for 30 minutes and do that, happy boy.
How about you, George?
So I'm not going to mix and match a bunch of cartoons. I'm just going to go with one, but Laugh Olympics and Apple Jacks.
That's a good call.
Solid choice.
I'm all right. What about you, Mo?
So I was torn because there's so many, but what I came down to is basically the, Space Ghost Herculoids show that was on. Remember that one? Yep. I loved that show. I know it's actually an older cartoon, but man, I love that show so much. Captain Crunch has to be my cereal.
It's always your Captain Crunch.
Always my Captain Crunch. That has to be it. So yeah, I mean, like I said, if I could have that half hour, that would be a half hour well spent.
Be great. Yep. That's good, Joe.
So thanks for that question, Joe. So if you want your question on the show, it's super easy. All you got to do is go to GenXGrownUp.com/Patreon. little as $1 a month, you can submit your question and we'll probably answer it right here on the show.
That's right. That's right. And speaking of which, I said I had a new supporter to thank. Todd H. did just what you said, Mo. Headed over to GenXGrownUp.com/Patreon. And I want to mention that Todd signed up at that $5 level. And at the $5 level, you get an ad-free feed of this podcast. So we publish it for free, but we have ads in it. But if you're a Patreon at that level or higher, you have an ad-free feed you can put into any of your aggregators and listen to it without all the extra ads and commercials, which has been very popular with a lot of our patrons. So Todd got that benefit. And Todd, we want to thank you for joining the list of supporters that we have here on Gen X Grown Up. We're very, very grateful. That is going to wrap it up for this edition of this show. Don't worry, though, if you're worried, we'll be back in 2 weeks with another one. And next week is our backtrack, where we pick a single nostalgic topic and dig in deep. Well, would you like to do the honors and let the fourth listener know what's coming?
Sure. I mean, if you guys remember really bad sound, not being able to see very well, and really just normal movie snacks, we're going to be talking about the drive-in movie experience. Something that is pretty much gone these days, except for very nostalgic places.
Yep. That speaker hanging on your window and
that huge speaker
fogging up the windows. We'll explain that to you later.
All right, I'm trying to find Laugh Olympics. I'm not worried about this podcast right now.
Well, you do not want to miss that one. Well, George will find his Laugh Olympics, but meanwhile, we hope you will join us for that backtrack all about the drive-in experience. Until then, I am John. George, thank you so much for being here.
Yes, sir.
Mo, I appreciate you, buddy.
Always fun, man.
Fourth listener, it's you we all three appreciate most of all, though. We can't wait to talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Take care, everybody.
No life, no fun. Don't you know that you're a grown-up?
Gen X Grown Up is a member of the Evergreen Podcast family. Learn more at evergreenpodcasts.com.
While she shows till sunrise. Unacceptable for grown-ups. Your dinner cannot just be french fries. Basically, life sucks as a grown-up.
Welcome back, Gen X Grown Up podcast listeners, to this episode. What? Damn it. I almost said 110. That'd be wrong. One more time.
That was a while ago.
There, the blooper already.